Hello. Hello. Testing. Testing. How are we doing? 2 seconds in, already going on my phone. Already just gonna go on my phone, probably for the rest of the stream, honestly. Just gonna hang out on my phone for about 2 hours. How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing? It's good to be here. It's good to be here. Welcome to the broadcast. We are a day late this week. We are a day late, and we are about 2 hours early. Whole lot of scheduling issues. It was not an easy one to schedule. That ain't your room. It's true. It's true. I am back from... Music still going, though? I thought I cut it. How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing? We're back from Toronto. We're back from Toronto, but we're not back in LA. That's okay. That's how it goes. Nice headphones, Karsten. Thank you. These are my girlfriend's. No, never mind. Okay, cool. Bro lives in the back rooms. It's true. I got banished to the back rooms. I had a joke lined up that I was going to recite, but I don't. No, okay. I was going to say, 2 cheese sticks in, you got to ask yourself, is today's stream going to be the stream of the wolf, or is today's stream going to be the stream of the hog? That's what I had. Didn't land as well as I wanted it to. How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing? We're here. We're here. Dang, I still got a movie tonight. He wrote it down, LOL. Hey, man, it was a long drive yesterday. I had to figure out some shit to write down. Let me say hello to everybody here. Let me say hello to everyone here. How's it going? Boston Skinner. Las Cosas de Brunin. Homer Simpson fan, you weren't first today. You weren't first. Caught you slacking because you didn't know when I was going to go live today. Alu, how's it going? Alex Lopez, how's it going? Steve, what's up? Rachel, how's it going? Max, Matthew, Jose, Sulu Candles, John Oppenheimer. Say hello to our mod, John Oppenheimer, for today. Jack Galapi, Abdul Rahman, some Canadian girl, just Ioana. How's it going? Maninen, Ezra. How's everybody doing? And a special hello to all of our members. A special hello to all of our members. More on that in a second. It's good to be here. Maybe there's some new people here because we're streaming from a different schedule for the day. Maybe some of you are new. If in that case, welcome. Oppenheimer named. Exactly. Can you say hello to me? Hello, Scuba Diver. How's it going? He thought that would kill. It's true. I really did. It really did. Give me the lowdown on the Smashing Machine. We're going to get into all of it, but I liked it a little bit more than a lot of people. I'm going to be honest with you. I did no rating on Letterboxd on purpose because I will be doing a video for it soon. It's the soonest one I'll be doing a standalone video for because it comes out relatively soon. So I didn't want to do too much, but I will say I liked it, and I'll say more about it in a second. First time from Finland. Shout out to Finland. I'm pretty sure that's the only place that's the only Scandinavian country I haven't been to, and it's kind of frustrating because I want to go. What about Secret Agent? Dog, I want to say I just want to say I'm sorry to the Brazilian fans and to the Secret Agent fans. I was trying really hard to see that, actually. It was one of my most anticipated, and TIFF's scheduling was so bad that I just couldn't see it. There was no possible way for me to see it without missing another essential. So just annoying, just straight up annoying. There were some essentials that I missed for sure, but I did go to TIFF. For those unaware, I was at TIFF. I want to say a special shout out to the one. I was, as is the case most of the time with TIFF, as TIFF more than any other place in the world, I'm recognized fairly often there. And it's not even just at the festival, it's around Toronto. I have a weird amount of fans in Toronto. And I want to start off the bat by saying thank you to everyone who said hi, and that it's the best part about going to TIFF is people telling me they like what I do. It's the best part about it. And so I want to say thank you to everyone who said hi, but I want to give a special thank you to the guy who was like, I watch the stream sometimes. I was like, oh my God, you're real. You guys are real. I was like, oh, that's a real sicko in the wild. That was that really made me happy. It always makes me happy when people say they watch the videos, but when you watch the streams, you're special. You're very special. So anyway, thank you to everyone who said hi. That was me. Was that actually you? Prove it. I don't know how to prove it, but there's a way to prove it. I don't know how to prove it. What was I wearing? Did you see any other YouTubers? I did. I ran into the usuals. I'm trying to remember, is there anyone who I haven't met? Yes. Well, so I ran into Amanda the Jedi, who's a friend of the channel, longtime friend of the channel. Ran into Zachary Shevich from the Intercut podcast, who's also longtime friend of the channel. He was fully naked. Yes, man, that was you. Oh my God, Oppression Editor. Good to see you. Oh my God, that's so funny. That was you. Passed the test. I was wearing sunglasses. Yes, I who else? I ran into, does anyone know Lauren? And the beginning of her last name is Brodoff, I want to say. I ran into her, who I've been mutuals with for a long time. Finally great to meet her. And then some other fools. I'm trying to remember. A lot of people, though. Ran into our lovely mod Michael, who's not here right now. He's actually at TIFF watching something. Yeah, no, it was great. We watched a lot of movies. I did not see YMS. No, he cut his hair. So like, I didn't really like know how to find him because I saw a picture. I was like, oh, he looks very different. And then we like had plans to meet up and then we couldn't make it happen. But I was searching. Not as many, I will say. Oh, I ran into, Jonathan Fuji, also a friend of the channel, was on the GoFundMe live stream. I ran into the Oscar expert. I think I ran into the brother, but not the actual Oscar expert. And then a few other people, but I'm literally forgetting like everything that happened. Yeah, you filled your letterbox these last few days. Oh, I also ran into Cinema Joe. If anyone knows Cinema Joe, lovely, lovely person. The comments are cut off on the bottom left, just for your information. Oh, they are. I did see Sydney. Yes, I did see Sydney. I met Sydney back in Cannes, so got to meet her for a second time. She's great. We're not going to pit two Oscar experts against each other. That's not what we're about here. Have you met any actors or directors at TIFF? I did not. Actually, this is like the one TIFF where I didn't like see any in the wild. I got to see a lot of them at I got really lucky and got to see a lot of premiere screenings because of my ticketing window, because TIFF was nice to me for the first time ever. I got a really great ticketing window and got to see everything I wanted. But I didn't see like anybody in the wild except for Matt Johnson. But that's like, if you don't see Matt Johnson in the wild, you didn't go to TIFF, because he's always just wandering around. But yeah. I'll run through all the movies I saw. Let's pull up the list. Today's stream, by the way, let's actually, before I do that, go over some of the what's on the agenda for today. Today is going to be a shorter day. I'm not going to lie to you. It's going to be like 2 hours long. I got to go around 3:15, we'll say. It's going to be a shorter one, but we have some fun things planned. We're going to talk a little bit about TIFF. We're going to go over some brief reviews for each of these films, but you can expect a more in-depth review for each one in the official TIFF recap, which I will be leaning into the Anthony Bourdain voice, by the way, because people seem to like that about the Cannes recap, and I plan to go even harder with the Anthony Bourdain thing here. But anyway, I'll be briefly recapping each film. We'll do a little Q&A situation, maybe a tier list if anyone has a good idea for a quick tier list, not a big one. And then we're going to be doing a review on Grizzly Man, which is our film of the week, voted on by the members last week. Grizzly Man, iconic Werner Herzog documentary that I am really excited to get into. It was quite a moving film, a really kind of intense film, but I'm excited to talk about it. And then we'll call it there. We'll call it there. We'll do the weekly box. We'll do all the usual shit. I wanted to say something about the member situation last week. There was a little bit of a pushback on the member situation, and I want to apologize for the rollout of that because I understand the disappointment. I realized that maybe instead of one member thing, we should have like some tiers, and I've changed it so we have a tier system, I believe, where for a lower price of I need to double. Where is it? For a lower price, you get access to the membership, or not the membership. The the membership, but you get access for the voting. We'll talk about the Twitter post in a second. You get access to voting for next week's movie for the lowest tier, and then for a higher tier, you can do the Cine 2 Nerdle perks that we were kind of testing out last week. We're still figuring out the rollout for this and figuring out like more perks. But if you'd like to become a member, consider doing so over at the channel. You can see more in the link in the description. Anyway, yes, while I was at TIFF, I made one single tweet. Let me be real. It was a single tweet on my viewing angle for Knives Out, Wake Up Dead Man. Saying... seated and excited, or I don't forget what I even said. I was like, seated for the new Knives Out, #TIFF. Let's see if we can like pull this up actually. Cause it did numbers and then was quote tweeted by somebody and then did even more numbers. It was a straight hit. Here it is. Oh wait, that's the wrong thing. Well, this looks like a pretty good viewing angle now. That was the picture. It was this. I tweeted this and was roasted into oblivion for it. But it wasn't even really me. People kept... There was one other person that I met up with who was like, you're getting cooked on Twitter. And I was like, what are you talking about? I'm not getting cooked. TIFF is getting cooked. I'm not like... People are like, people pay all this money to go to TIFF and then get that seat. And I'm like, well, first of all, I didn't have to pay to go to TIFF. Like, I got the press pass. I mean, yeah, I had to pay for like a hotel and whatnot, but like, it's also, I get to see the movie. Also, the photo was a little bit manipulated, just so everybody's clear. I wish I could, I was in the seat. This is the original photo. That's the original photo. It's not much better. And then this is the manipulated photo where it's like a lot tinier. Bad way to do that. But anyway, it became a whole thing on Twitter of people talking about film festivals. It was just, I thought it was really funny personally, because there were people that were like in the replies being like, welcome to film festivals. This is what you get. And I'm just like, buddy, it wasn't even that bad. It wasn't even, I got to see the movie and it's not as absurd as it looks. I was taking it with the wide angle lens. Why did you edit it in the first place? Because I thought it would be funny to make the screen even smaller. Because it was already so ridiculous when I booted it up, and then I saw that it was a black background, and I was like, well, this would be so easy to make smaller. And so I thought, wow, why not? Let's make it even smaller. Because I also have done this tweet before. 2 years ago at Cannes, I did the same shit, and I got a very similar seat for Furiosa. And then I did another joke tweet where I walked up to the stage and then took one behind the speaker for Megalopolis. And people fell for that too. And people were like, oh my God, this guy is just, he's getting obliterated at these festivals. And so I was like, let's do it again for TIFF, because that was insane. And it was a truly fine seat. I have no complaints, actually. It was completely fine. You popped up more on quote retweets than your own tweet. That's the part that pisses me off a little bit, is I was like, damn, I wish my own tweet did numbers, but I get it. It was a little bit bait, because it was like, you know, it was the kind of tweet that was like so innocent that, you know, it opened up the prompt for everyone. But I was like, it's fine, man. It's literally fine. Trust me, I've been through worse. That was, after the Superman thing, that was nothing. I was like, this is funny. I was having a good time with it. I was just, I was honestly like, I hope, like, I felt like maybe other like festival goers were annoyed at me because I made it look worse than it was, but it really wasn't that bad. the people debating if it was real or not. I know that part was hilarious. I was like, damn, I'm pretty good at Photoshop. Photoshop on my phone. I'm not too bad at it, because that was pretty convincing. That's what I'm saying. I actually did. It's funny. I ended up not tweeting it because I was able to move seats, but I was almost given a way worse seat for Rental Family, the Brendan Fraser movie. Because these are assigned seats that you get at random. They're completely random, and it's not going to send. Never mind. It was front row far right, and it was like a huge screen, so it would have looked absurd. And but like once the film started, I could kind of sneak back and find an empty seat. What about the movie though? The movie was good. Yeah, I guess we could start talking about the movies. I'm still talking about the experience. Let me list off all of the movies I saw. It was one of my weaker years. It's some of the one of my smallest years ever, but I still got to see what I wanted to see. I saw Surat, The Testament of Ann Lee, Wake Up Dead Man, Dead Man's Wire, back to back, funny enough, Rental Family, Nino, The Balloonists, The Smashing Machine, Frankenstein, Dust Bunny, Ballad of a Small Player, and No Other Choice. I think it was, I forgot the math. I think it was 12 or 13 altogether. How tall is Brother Bro and Jonathan Fuji? I need to know. Jonathan Fuji's pretty tall. And Brother Bro, we're about the same size. Nobody is like hilariously tall. But YMS is pretty tall. he's actually a pretty tall person. But yeah, no one is like taller than you think they are. KJ, thank you for the super chat. So Netflix made a documentary about Charlie Sheen. I heard about that. I haven't watched it yet. I also heard about the one about the girl whose like mom was being mean to her, being vague on purpose. Because I know it's a spoiler, but I also was telling someone, I was like, they should lead with that because that makes it way more interesting. Fuji's not short. I mean, to be honest, I was talking to him while he was sitting down. Why are we having this conversation, first of all? I imagine a lot of people, not to make it about myself, but I would imagine a lot of people say that I'm shorter than they think I'm going to be. I'm not a big guy. I'm a little short. And I come from a short family. I'm the tall guy in the family. But that said, anyway. Let's briefly talk about these. I don't have a rank off the bat. We need them opinions, brother. I know. I'm just dancing around the opinions. Off the bat, the best thing I saw at TIFF is probably No Other Choice. I ended the fest with a banger. It's the new Park Chan-wook, if you didn't know. And it's, I will say, probably not as good as Decision to Leave off the bat, but really good. Really fun. Reminded me a lot, and not a lot of people are saying this, which is why I want to say this. It reminded me a lot of like the classic Billy Wilder comedies. Like, it is so silly, but so like witty and smart and sharp and nonstop. Like, it just fucking like, and that's all of his movies. Like, his movies, you know, you blink and they're over. They move so fast. But it was a really silly movie, which is maybe going to be like a bit jarring to some people. But he really leans into a lot of what was working with Decision to Leave. Like all the weird cross dissolves and the really just genius edits. I mean, he's a fucking genius with some of this stuff. There's like 5 different cross dissolves in this movie where I like kind of just was like shaking my head in disbelief. I was like, that's like one of the most incredible things I've ever seen. It's a really fantastic film, and I can't wait for people to see it. I think there's things about it that hold it back for me. I think it sometimes is a little too silly for its own good, and you know, the thing I don't like the most about it is that it is really, it's almost too similar to Parasite in some ways. In ways where I'm like, it feels like it strays a little bit further away from what I know Park Chan-wook as. You know, like it it's definitely like, maybe this is crazy to say. I might walk this one back, but I would maybe say it's the least Park Chan-wook film I've seen. Unless we're strictly speaking about the new era of stuff where it's like he's doing like fun, witty dissolves and whatnot. You are not going to call me anti-silly, man. You know nothing about me. I am a silly fucking goose. Like I am not anti-silly in any way. I just think sometimes it got in the way. Oh my God. So that was like probably the best thing. Close second was I've seen Thirst. Have I seen Thirst? Yeah, No, I haven't seen Thirst. Dude, I gotta watch Thirst. Yeah, if anything, I was like, well, it's time to finish the filmography for sure. So close second was a film called Nino, which I think deserves a lot more love, and I want to, give that one, as much love as I can because it was one of the smaller films at the fest. But it starred, and I'm gonna get his name wrong, Theodore Pellerin. He starred in Lurker. He's that guy, and he's the star of Nino, and it's fantastic. It is one of those, handheld indies that is like, very bare bones, but very natural, very real, incredibly tender. And it's about a guy who it's kind of similar to Oslo, August 31st, where it's about a guy who learns he has cancer and kind of goes around and like sees all of his loved ones that day. And it's more than that, but that's kind of the basic gist. And I was just incredibly moved by it. It's kind of I don't want to say day in the life because it's a few days, but it's like a moment in time, a slice of life. And I was just, really, really moved by it. It felt like such a breath of fresh air in the midst of, honestly, like a festival of, I was seeing a lot of like big stuff. And so maybe it kind of hit extra hard because it just had a true like authentic feel next to everything else I was seeing, but it was fantastic. Yeah. Yeah. Also saw Surat. That is another highlight. My big three are these three. It's No Other Choice, Nino, and Surat. Surat was insane. It's insane. It is. It's like a mix of. If you didn't know, it's a mix of Climax, Sorcerer, and Mad Max Fury Road. It's about a father who goes to a desert rave, in the middle of the desert, to find his missing daughter. He goes there with his young son, and they're looking for his daughter. And it has to like join this group of ravers to look for her. And it's incredibly disturbing, but powerful and real. The technical stuff alone is insane. I thought the speakers were going to blow out, and I know like sometimes people say that, but no, this time I really did think the speakers were going to break. It's a very loud movie, not in like a action movie kind of way, but in like a droning way. It's just like the whole time, and it was incredible. There's some like there's some controversies to it. It's a mix of Climax, Sorcerer, and Mad Max Fury Road. The Mad Max thing is a stretch, but it is Sorcerer. It's borderline. It's almost a remake. Speaking of Friedkin from last week, and then obviously there's a lot of like Climax, like techno rave elements that were insane. But there's like some controversies with it in regards to where it was shot. And whether the ethics of that and if it's, but I would argue, I was kind of talking to some people about it, and that's kind of commenting on that in a way, on the tone deafness of the characters in the film, and I'm going to talk about it more in the video, but I thought it was really interesting, and I've liked it a lot more the more I think about it, and yeah, pretty devastating and fascinating film, and we should not. If you've seen it, don't say anything about it in the comments, because knowing nothing about it going in, I was like, what the fuck is this movie? Anyway, thoughts on Wake Up Dead Man. Wake Up Dead Man, I liked it. I think if you want the quick ranking, that's all you want. It's Knives Out, the original, at the top, and then Wake Up Dead Man, and then Glass Onion. I don't think it's as good as the first one, because I think the first one is like endlessly sharp and entertaining, and you could just watch the people talk to each other forever. Whereas Wake Up Dead Man, I think the talkier scenes were not as strong and felt, dare I say, even a little weak at times. But that said, I think the mystery element is obviously always going to be amazing. I think the performances alone are great. Glass Onion did not stink. It just kind of was not, it didn't really have the like charm of a whodunit mystery that like Knives Out just nailed, you know? And that Wake Up Dead Man brings back. If you missed that kind of like cozy, autumnal whodunit feel, they bring it back. Because Glass Onion, it's like there's like an explosion, you know? I don't think it's a huge deal to spoil Glass Onion, but Glass Onion's like so heady and like, come on, you know? The COVID stuff, they were putting in the effort, you know? It didn't really land all that well, but they put in the effort. How's the cinematography? I heard it's amazing. It's good. I will say I wasn't like that hot on it. I mean, they use colors in some really good ways. Glass Onion has Among Us, though. Exactly, man. Like, you gotta give it that. Yeah, I thought the cinematography was good. It's big and it's bright and it's colorful and uses like shadows, and it does like everything, you know, people have kind of been craving in big movies, but like it's not, I don't think it looks as good as the first. And honestly, there's parts of Glass Onion that I prefer visually. But Josh O'Connor's the standout. Josh O'Connor's the man of the film. I mean, he's I don't want to, like, you know, obviously you get Benoit Blanc fans, stay in line. He's there. Don't get me wrong. But like Josh O'Connor, you get fed well with him. He is so good in it, man. Andrew Scott also very good. It's the first Andrew Scott movie that I've seen where they kind of like use him in a funny way, because he's funny, man. He's funny. I will say, and this, I don't think this is not a spoiler. Kaylee Spaney's good. I wanted more of Kaylee Spaney. She's kind of like quiet, but who else is good? Jeremy Renner, I hate to say it, he's good. He's good in the movie. They use him well. Glenn Close, phenomenal. Josh Brolin, phenomenal. Yeah, no, it's good. Dude, I need to see The Long Walk. I've been hyping up David Johnson for so long. Is it David? I thought it was, why did I think it was Daniel? I wish we could have an app to talk about his performance in this movie. Someone should make that app, dude. An app dedicated to Jeremy Renner. Could you imagine? Who is the murderer? You're crazy. We should ban this guy just for that. What's going on, Karsten? We're streaming. We're talking about TIFF. So, yeah, Wake Up Dead Man was good. I liked it. I wasn't, you know, crazy about it, but I liked it. I also saw The Testament of Anne Lee, which, if you didn't know, stars Amanda Seyfried and Lewis Pullman, dude. We're all talking about Josh O'Connor and how satisfied we are with all that Josh O'Connor we got. But like Lewis Pullman fans, if you're there, if you're like me, you're happy that he got this kind of coverage. He's all in Testament of Anne Lee. I mean, he's not Amanda Seyfried level good. Like it's her movie for sure. But he's all over this thing, man. And he's good. I was so tired of him being like kind of pushed to the side. And then when I saw him in Thunderbolts, I was like, this guy is like, he's the real deal. Like, I love this guy. You know how good you got to be in a Marvel movie and you're like, that's good acting. Sorry. But he was fantastic. He was really, really great. Is Anne Lee getting Oscars, yay or nay? Dude, I don't even know. Probably getting some technical stuff. Amanda Seyfried definitely going to get nominated, no doubt. But yeah, I mean, it's weird. It's weird, and weird in a way that like I was kind of like, not all of it worked for me. I liked it, but I didn't like it the way everybody else did. I'm not as hot on like some of the musical numbers. Some of them are absolutely incredible, left my body type incredible. Some of them really awkward, in my opinion. It's a very like intense movie, and it's a very showy movie in a lot of ways, which is in some ways again beautiful, and Amanda Seyfried certainly brings it. But to me, it felt frustrating how much it was doing and how little I was actually feeling, which is also kind of funny enough something I felt at times during The Brutalist. I was like, why does this not feel as epic as it should? But then like that's when that like really settled with me pretty well. I can't really say that about The Brutalist 100%. But yeah, no, it was really good, and it was it was not Amelia Perez. We are not going to call it Amelia Perez. We are not going to say that. But it was good. It was good. What else? I also saw I did see Rental Family. I will get to Smashing Machine in a second, man. No, I haven't talked about Smashing Machine. I also saw Rental Family. People in the last stream were like, are you going to see Rental Family? And I was like, I'm probably going to give up that ticket. I did not end up giving up the ticket. I went to see it, and it was sweet. It was cute. I'll admit, it was cute. It was a little not my thing at all. I'm a Coda guy over Rental Family, if we're talking these cheesy crowd pleasers. I'm more of a Coda guy. Rental Family, I didn't get choked up once, but I could hear the rest of the theater sniffling, and then I was like, I guess I'm just a heartless son of a bitch. But I enjoyed it. I mean, it was funnier than I thought it was going to be. That's what I will say. The comedy was way better than the drama. The tug at your heartstring stuff I found a little too manipulative and a little too cheap, honestly. But like the comedy was really quite funny. I was like, Brendan Fraser's a funny guy. And I don't know. I thought it was silly. Yeah, see, I can get down with the silliness. So, is it winning People's Choice? Probably. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. You can kind of see right through it. You can see right through it. So it might not go over as well for everybody, but then again, that's TIFF, man. TIFF will probably do it. Who is this year's Oscar villain? I mean, depending how far Rental Family goes, it might be that. It could very well end up being Rental Family if it makes it all the way, because that would be a little. It's not bad, but it is kind of like, this isn't that good. Again, I've said this before. Oscar villains, not always bad movies. Sometimes they're just the wrong movie. And Wicked 2, haven't seen it yet. That could be the Oscar villain. Wicked was kind of my Oscar villain last Oscar season, personally, because I thought it took up space that challengers deserved. But what is Oba? Oh, One Battle After Another. No, man. I haven't seen it yet. That's not going to be that will never be the villain. That's like Oppenheimer being the villain. Like, maybe some people didn't want Oppenheimer to get everything, but like, it wasn't ever a villain. Above Amelia Perez? No, Amelia Perez was the true Oscar villain, but Wicked was a Oscar villain. An Oscar villain. The Smashing Machine is this year's Oscar villain? Fine, I'll fucking talk about it. Okay, also Frankenstein might be some people's Oscar villain, to be honest. People will treat Frankenstein the way I treated Wicked. Like, that will be a big one that people get annoyed at, in my opinion. But I will, fine, I'll talk about Smashing Machine. I liked it. It's a very tame movie. It just kind of drifts along and is 100% built to get Dwayne an Oscar nomination, bare minimum, which is only, and I for the record, I called this months ago, I called this. I was like, fucking, he's getting the Oscar nomination. Everybody was like, you're insane. And I'm like, well, okay, sure. Yeah. The movie where it's built for that isn't going to happen. Yeah, sure. Okay. Yeah, so he's going to get an Oscar nomination, just so we're all clear. Maybe he won't win. Maybe they'll turn on him, but he might. He is not getting nominated, Karsten. Promise. I'm not falling for that again, man. I'm not falling for that again. He might win. I haven't seen Daddy Longlegs. I can't speak on it. Anyway, so it's Dwayne's show. It's Dwayne's show. Some might even call it the whale of this year. But I thought it was really interesting. I agree with that it's like mostly the Dwayne show. But what I don't agree with is that it's a by the books biopic. I don't think it's like that at all, and it doesn't read like that at all. I think it's a very strange movie that is like, you know, covered in all this like ambient jazzy score, and like doesn't really give in to like big dramatic moments. Like a lot of the film is comprised of like tiny kind of like intimate household drama, and I think that's really interesting. Like Benny's direction is good. It's very natural. It's you know, you can tell it's missing the bite that they had together, but it's like very natural and very like empathetic towards the character. Like you can tell he loves the characters, which is like a really simple quality that a lot of filmmakers just can't pull off, but you can tell he does. Favorite performance from a Benny film? This is the only Benny film, for the record. But assuming you mean all of them, no, this is not my favorite performance. Anyway, I now there's too many questions. I liked it. I thought it was interesting, and I liked the laid back approach. Ultimately, it felt very similar to Uncut Gems as a film about an addict, because that's to me what like Uncut Gems always was, is like watching an addict kind of tragically fall very slowly and frustratingly, but like that's kind of what it was to me. It's all about a guy with this horrible addiction, and this is like much more like on the surface about it. Like it's a very like, this is a guy with an addiction movie, but it's gentle, and I don't know, there's something very charming about that, and charming about the way it's like it had a much more positive and empathetic outlook on it than something like Uncut Gems did. So there's like things about it that I actually really love and that felt refreshing for a Safdie brother film, I should say. But then there's other moments where you could tell Josh brought a sort of bite to their work and like a level of tension that honestly keeps the machine running, and that this just doesn't have. And so it's not really like it's not perfect, but I did like it, and I think it's an interesting approach to a biopic that, you know, and Dwayne does a good job. If that's what they set out to do, they succeeded. He did a good job. I was actually surprised, because I was kind of like, you know, this movie more than anything you could see right through as being like, you know, awards bait. But it doesn't really feel like that when you're watching it. And also, his performance is way better than I thought it was going to be. So, I don't know. I was into it, man. I was into it. I didn't love it, but I thought it was a good movie. Best Dwayne Johnson performance ever? Yeah. Yeah, probably. That ain't too hard. I can't think of a better Dwayne Johnson performance. Was it similar to the Curse in any way? No, not really. Not really. I felt like the Curse was very like from afar. You never really feel like you're that close to them. Like you're seeing them through like so many different layers. Whereas this, you're kind of in the room with them, and it's really rough around the edges. Whereas like I think the Curse is very like sterile. I mean, if there's one thing they have in common, it's that they're both like very real. They're very real depictions of these characters in this specific place. But does he get hurt in the movie? Why? A little bit, yeah. There's fighting. There is fighting. When are you going to see one battle after another? I got my tickets. I got my VistaVision tickets. My very late tickets. I'm not going to actually give away too much information because that's just dumb, but Uh, Thoughts on JJ McCarthy? Think he'll improve over Sam Darnold? I don't have that many thoughts, but I mean, maybe. I'll be honest, I'm pretty tapped out. I didn't even get to watch the first game. So I'm the wrong guy to ask. I don't even know what's really going on. So that's my answer. Sam Darnold was kind of a disappointment, though. I did not watch Nirvana the Band, the show, the movie. That was a huge miss as well. So to give you, to just be transparent about what I missed, I didn't see Nirvana the Band, the show, the movie. I didn't see Hamnet, and I didn't see, what was the one we brought up earlier? I didn't see the Charlie XCX movie with Young Lean in it. I was actually really, if I had known Young Lean was in that movie, I would have gotten the tickets, but I didn't know he was there. And then when he was there, I was pretty mad. Are you going to see The Long Walk? Yes. Yo, bro, do you like cheddar cheese? Love cheddar cheese. Love cheddar cheese. Which Safdie Brothers movie this year do you think is going to garner more awards in awards season? Dude, I don't know. I don't actually know. Probably Marty Supreme. Smashing Machine will only be a performance thing. It ain't going to be... The Golden Lion doesn't... Or the Silver Lion, I should say, means nothing. That's not going to do anything. But maybe Best Score? The score is pretty notable in Smashing Machine. Some might even call it the best part of the movie. Marty Supreme looks bigger for sure. So, yeah. Maybe. But it could be weird, man. It could be annoying in an Uncut Gems way. Like, if this is what Benny brings, then, like, Josh, you can only imagine, is the annoying part of the group. Like, you can only imagine what the fuck he's bringing to the table. Because this was it was kind of a calm watch. Okay, what else did I watch? I watched Ballad of a Small Player. No one's asked about it. Because you can probably assume how I felt about it. This is that new Edward Berger movie with Colin Farrell. And I went in with an open mind because I really did I kind of loved Conclave. Love Colin Farrell. And you know what I will say is it was beautifully shot. It was probably the best looking movie I saw at the fest. It looked fantastic. And you could even say was only made as it felt very I'm was this just for some guys real? It looks really good on its own, but as a movie is just kind of oh, whatever. I didn't think it was that bad. I don't think it's horrible, but it's dictionary definition mid. The way I've been saying, and this is not to imply that well-adjusted people can't make movies about troubled people, because that's not true at all. But I was I don't think Edward Berger understands this character at all, or has any has the tools to go deeper with it. I think Edward Berger's stuff is so Conclave works so well because the drama was just there in the script. It was just so hard to fail. And his style worked really well for a setting like that. But for this reckless gambler that's super high energy and suicidal, there was a lot of darkness that he just could not bring to the table. There was just a tremendous amount of substance left out that I was we're not doing this the right way. We're not doing this the right way. But it looked really nice. And Colin Farrell was good. What the fuck is Dust Bunny? Dust Bunny was the worst movie I saw at TIFF, is what it was. It's not terrible, also. I didn't see any truly offensively bad movies. Dust Bunny came close, but I was also this is not for me. This is a kind of a middle schooler movie. And this is not to sound mean to those who are adults who will like it, but it's not because there are certainly movies designed for children that I enjoy, but this wasn't my thing. This was not my thing at all. I like in a way where it's like even as a middle schooler, I probably wouldn't have dug this. It's a new Mad Mikkelsen movie where he gets hired as a hitman essentially to kill this creature under this little girl's bed, and it becomes like a bonding. It's like a young girl, older man, friendship bond thing that is cute on paper, like Mad Mikkelsen. We love Mad Mikkelsen, don't we? But really dry, really dry, and not my sense of humor. Good production design. I wanted to see Roofman. Roofman comes out so soon that I skipped it because I was like, well, I'll see it soon. And it was between that and something else. I think it might have been Nino, which I'm ultimately glad I saw more. But, yeah, I haven't seen Roofman yet. It could win. You're right. A Testament of An Lee was good. I liked it. We talked about it a little bit ago. I also saw Frankenstein. Let's talk about Frankenstein. Frankenstein, I have grown on. It's grown on me, I should say. I enjoyed Frankenstein. It's not my favorite Guillermo del Toro. In fact, it kind of feels like Guillermo del Toro on autopilot, which is not a bad thing. Is the thing. That's not bad, but it is kind of like we've seen all this tricks before, you know? And it can just be a little dull. It's a little dull at times, especially in the first half. Like if you're not fucking with it in the first half, like give it a chance. Because once Jacob Elordi shows up, it just fucking like it just explodes, man. He's so good. He's so good in this movie. I was so happy to see Jacob Elordi just kind of like get this kind of role that like really suits him, really suits his style, because he is a quiet guy and he's rather stoic, and that's kind of what this creature is. And like, but you could tell there's like a lot of depth that he wants to bring, and he finally gets the opportunity here. And I thought he was fantastic, man. I thought he was great. Would Andrew Garfield do better? No. He would have been good, but I think Jacob Elordi was this was his moment, you know? This was the movie for him. And he was, Mia Goth was fine. Mia Goth was kind of forgettable, honestly. She was okay, but she's not like, I think the appeal of Mia Goth to me is like when she's crazy. And she doesn't really get to go crazy here. Oscar Isaac, very good, but Jacob Elordi definitely the standout. He looks, and I couldn't say this on Letterboxd or anywhere else because I knew people would not care and also would make fun of me, but he looks identical to Blade at one point in this movie. He looks identical to Blade, and I thought that was really funny, and I couldn't unsee it. The hair is the exact same. And that says more about Blade than it does the creature. What film inspired you the most from TIFF? Probably Surat. Yeah, Surat's fantastic. That was one where I was like, well, this is the kind of thing like I would just, you would love to make one day. I also walked by the filmmaker Oliver Lax, I think is how you pronounce it. I walked by him on the way out of the theater, and he's like just this huge man with these long hair, and I was just like, this guy, that's a powerful presence that he carries with him. Like he's, I was like, you did make this movie, you did make something this crazy. Yeah, Surat definitely. Did you see it was just an accident? I saw it back in Cannes. It was my highlight of Cannes, neck and neck with Sentimental Value, which I thought was, it's fantastic. I can't wait to watch it again, honestly, because I really loved it, but I watched it at like 8:30 in the morning, and the fact that I was still really moved by it says a lot. But like, I would love to watch it again, kind of knowing how it evolves and like knowing what the movie is, because it's kind of one where you're trying to kind of figure it out the whole time. But yeah. Did you hear the rumors that Brazil might not submit The Secret Agent? I did not. That's insane. Why? I haven't seen it, so I really can't speak on it, but I want to see it really bad. You should do a tier list of half-star movies. That's such a good idea, actually. That's a really good idea. After the Hunt, did not see it. It wasn't at TIFF. Did you already talk about No Other Choice? I led with that one. Yeah, that was the best thing I saw. That was the best thing I saw. So far, might be my favorite of the year. But I'm kind of... It's between that and Sentimental Value and... I'm going to say it, Cloud. I thought Cloud was phenomenal. But I'm still kind of piecing together. How about doing it now? I knew you were going to say that. I would need a second. To set it up. But yes, I'll do it. Did you do the Criterion van? No, I walked by it a few times. And it was like cool to see it there. But like the line, you wouldn't need to dedicate your whole day to it. Like I would have to skip screenings just to get some Criterions for free. I was like, I'm good. But no, all respect to those who did it. Dougal would be S tier. Is Dougal really in my half stars? Let me pull up my I want to talk about Grizzly Man first. Before we do that, I want to prioritize Grizzly Man because I really want to talk about it. There's too many, bro. I'll set this up for next stream, okay? I promise. That'll be next stream's activity. I also have to edit down the VOD for the director's tier list. What movie always cheers you up? Probably Dougal. But also probably Fantastic Mr. Fox. Or Surf's Up. We almost watched Cars last night when we got back. Oh my god, dude. By the way, I don't even know if I should talk about it. But we drove back and dude, I don't even know if I should talk about it, actually. It was a very negative experience though, going through the border. Just an immediately like welcome back to hell situation. Anyway, I'm not gonna talk about it. Was Begonia at TIFF? No, it was not. That's my most anticipated now for the rest of the year. I saw you read my text. I'm not gonna answer your text on stream, John. I also saw. Let me finish up my TIFF recap, man. I haven't finished. I also saw Dead Man's Wire, the new Gus Van Sant, which no one's asking about, but it was good. It was really good. It was a really fun movie about the real life kidnapping between Tony Kuritzis, and Richard Dick Hall. I was trying to remember his name. It's really fun. Bill Skarsgård does an amazing job, and Dacre Montgomery, it finally gets like a nice meaty role. I've always loved him since Stranger Things, and I wanted to see him like get crazy, and he gets crazy in this movie. He's really good. And then Al Pacino's in it, and he is doing weird things in a way that works. Some people are gonna hate Al Pacino in this movie. I thought he was good. And then Coleman Domingo is also great, but Coleman Domingo, it's kind of like, yeah, he's always great. It is Dick Hall, yeah. Yep. Are film festivals hectic, or are you doing your own thing mostly? It's what you make of them, yeah. I've done them different ways. This year was relatively chill for me, because so here's the thing about film festivals. I mean, everyone's there for different reasons. Everyone's doing different coverage, at least in press. You know, there's also a lot of industry people who are just there to like see movies for fun, but also, you know, meet people and network and whatnot. But lag, is it really bad? Am I good? Am I okay? They are hectic, yes. I mean, you're trying to see as many, all the movies you came to see. And having to schedule all of that, getting the tickets, remembering to like sleep and feed yourself. It's hectic. And and there's a lot of crowds and there's a lot of chaos and a lot of security, and it's chaos. Yeah. But I don't know. I was good. I was fine. I paced myself, and I tried to get as much sleep as possible. I honestly, I had the opportunity to see Hamnet, but I skipped it because I wanted to sleep in. And I really think I made the right decision at the end of the day, because I am like, yeah, you saw the movie before a lot of people, but you also saw it in a terrible state of mind. Like, you're half awake and not fully there. What's the point, you know? And so I don't know. After like a few festivals and having seen big movies in that state, I've kind of been like, well, let me just like, you know, make sure I see what I need to see, and make sure I see them in an okay, you know, state of mind. Will you watch the direct tomorrow? Probably. So yeah, honestly, like, I understand. I to answer your question, I'm like, I get the grind of like having to see as many movies as possible, like doing 6 a day, but also that's not really like, I like to spread it out a bit, not out of laziness, but out of just wanting to process the films and make it a more intentional experience, I guess. What's better, TIFF or Cannes? That's a hard question. I think probably Cannes, but I love them both. Was The View really that terrible? No, man, it wasn't. It actually wasn't bad at all. The bigger issue is like the leg space. The leg space sucks ass, man. It's terrible. These are seats built for like old people going to see like, you know, the orchestra concert. But like, it was a really kind of, I hated the leg space more than anything. Okay, I want to talk a little bit about Grizzly Man. I want to switch into today's movie, if that's okay with everybody. You got any favorite spots in Toronto? Honestly, dude, we went to this place. Let me get the name right. We went to this place. Fuck. Give me the name. We walked through. Come on, man. Is Cookie here? And if so, do you have the name pulled up? I'm gonna get this. I don't give a fuck how long this is taking. We went to this place called Denny's. I'm kidding. Grizzly Man. Yes, we're gonna get into it. Was it this one? Yes, it was. We went to this place called Don Don Izakaya. It was an izakaya restaurant. I don't know if that's how you're supposed to pronounce it. It was fantastic. It was really fun. They had a giant drum, and they would like bang on the drum and like do a whole thing and like scream in the restaurant, and then you had to like drink your shots as fast as possible. And we did not do that, but it was fun watching everybody else do it. And they had amazing food. That was not worth that long search, by the way. But anyway, yeah, really good food in Toronto, by the way. I encourage people to, especially like, venture outside of the TIFF area to find food, because there's a lot of good stuff out there. Anyway, we're going to talk about Grizzly Men. Grizzly Men. This is our film of the week, voted on by the members last week. Before we do that, actually, let's set up the movie for next week. Let's do it. As I said last week, we have switched into a members-only voting situation for voting on the movies for each week. I want to get... but a way to make it more fair is, instead of me picking all of the movies that we pick, I want to like open it more up to the chat. If you'd like to vote on next week's movie that we watched for the film club, this week it's Grizzly Man, you can vote on the poll that will be as a community post on the channel. You have to be a member. And more info on that can be found on the channel page. I like the idea of doing a Godard next week. I've been kind of in the mood to do some Godard. We'll do Paper Moon for sure, because it lost out last week and I was really expecting it to win. How do we feel about... Could we get down with some Contempt? I was thinking about revisiting Breathless, to be honest. Some older Baumbach? Maybe. I say we get a Park Chan-wook in there, too. That feels right. Come and see. I do need to see it, but I also don't know if we should do it. We need to not only do devastating movies here. I'm going to throw in Breathless. It's an essential, and even though I have seen it, it's been a very long time. Okay. We'll do Breathless, Paper Moon. We'll do Thirst. I just rewatched Midnight Cowboy. Dogville? Punch Drunk Love rewatch? Dude, I do want to rewatch Punch Drunk Love really bad, but I've talked about it so much on the internet that I feel like we should do something else. I have suggested Vanilla Sky before. I could throw it in there. We could throw in Tux and Fanny, man. We could finally do Tux and Fanny. Robots. Brother, is Tux and Fanny even available to watch anywhere? JFK. Once Upon a Time in the West. Showa. This can be any genre, yes. Any movie at all. It's on YouTube. Good to know, actually. Good to know. You know what? Because I wanted it. Let's do Vanilla Sky just because that's been in the list a few times, I want to say. And I've been kind of trying to see it. So we're going to go Breathless, Paper Moon, Thirst, and Vanilla Sky. To vote, you become a... Do I have this right? Oh my God. Give me a second. Okay, yeah. You got to be a cinema freak or higher. And we will decide by the end of the stream. I think that should work. Okay. That will be a community post over on the channel page. Okay. A cinema freak is the first tier. To be if you donate, not donate, but if you subscribe for that amount, which I believe is $1.99 a month, you can vote in the poll, and in the future get more perks for the membership, and support the channel. Okay, we're going to talk about this week's movie, though. It is Grizzly Man. It's Grizzly Man, which is a movie that I've been afraid of for a very long time, admittedly. I have not been looking forward to this, and believe it or not, but before we get into it, show of hands, how many people watched Grizzly Man for this week? Or have ever seen it in general? Yeah, let's get some bears in the chat. Let's get some bears in the chat. Is that insensitive? Okay, good amount. For the second time, I've seen fantastic film. Saw it a year or two ago. Never heard of Grizzly Bear. I like the Grizzly Man. Bears in chat. Nice, man. I'm glad. So some backstory with this one for me personally. I only just now saw it for the first time. I had heard about it, and I'd heard about everything surrounding it. That this is a man who was obsessed with grizzly bears, with living amongst the grizzly bears, so much so that he eventually was killed, mauled by a grizzly bear with his girlfriend in Alaska, and that the footage doesn't exist, but that an audio file of it exists. And I'd known about this for many years, and that it's one of the most disturbing things you could find or listen to. And it came up in a few like documentary classes in film school and whatnot, because it's a pretty essential doc, and it's pretty important when you look at it from that perspective alone on like what should and shouldn't make it into the doc, and how do you kind of tread carefully through a subject like this. As we're not gonna hang on the audio for too long, because I don't want people to like seek it out or anything. I have not heard it personally. I don't imagine it's very accessible. In the doc, Werner tells he listens to like part of it and tells the subject to destroy it immediately, that she should never, like, no one should ever listen to this. There is, I believe, like some fakes floating around the internet from what I was seeing on Reddit, but like I don't think the real, I don't think it's out there. That'd be crazy. And I don't encourage anyone to seek it out, obviously, but it's anyway so all of that said, I think I didn't know how much of this would be in the doc. I was expecting it to be a pretty intense documentary. I hadn't looked up that much about it and like what was actually in it, but I kind of assumed this kind of shit would be in the doc. So I was afraid to watch this for a while, more than like anything else. I think because it's obviously a documentary and it actually happened, it really kind of scared me. And I don't get scared that often, but I did it, and I chose to watch it on the flight, which was bold for someone not knowing what they're going to get into, but it ended up being fine. I do think this is an incredibly eerie documentary, but it is not overly disturbing, which is important. Before we get any further, let me do the Google synopsis and tell you what it is about, in case people don't know. Pieced together from Timothy Treadwell's actual video footage, Werner Herzog's remarkable documentary examines the calling that drove Treadwell to live among a tribe of wild grizzly bears on an Alaskan reserve. A devoted conservationist with a passion for adventure, Timothy believed he had bridged the gap between human and beast. When one of the bears he loved and protected tragically turns on him, the footage he shot serves as a window into our understanding of nature and its grim realities. I was curious. I'm pretty sure it didn't, but it was, it did not get an Oscar nomination or win. Not that matters, but we do Oscar shit on here every now and then, and did not get nominated for Best Oscar or Best Documentary, I mean. Is that true? That's a bit crazy in my opinion. It was a wild bear, wasn't it? I mean, they're all wild bears, yes. But I stopped at that part because, and this is not, we're not even going to do spoilers for this because it's kind of the what happens. It was, is this kind of like Cocaine Bear? No. Well, I was going to say it was a bear that did not like him, and I don't think he liked very much, because the whole thing is that he and correct me if I'm wrong, he was leaving after his usual summer there, but then he came back because of such a negative interaction at the airport, and he chose to go back with his girlfriend off season at a time where, you know, there's not as much salmon. Like the bears are hungrier and more desperate, and they're a lot angrier. And this was a bear that didn't typically live in this area, and so he wasn't very familiar with the bear. The bear did not like him. The bear was hungry. It was like, it's like, brother, get out of there kind of thing. Which is why I'm like, I wouldn't call it a bear who he loved and protected. It was a bear I don't think he liked all that much. This was the year Crash won. Dude, what an amazing year. What an amazing year for the Oscars, clearly. So it's a crazy story, and the story alone is crazy, but the guy, Timothy Treadwell, is fascinating. I mean, he's one of the most fascinating documentary subjects I've ever encountered. He's very colorful. He has a very bouncy personality. He is very unstable and deeply troubled, as that becomes incredibly apparent. The bear is okay, though. The bear is so I got confused. They did go back and shoot a bear. I don't remember if it's the bear that killed him. But the bear won the fight for sure. The bear's definitely dead by now. Is it really crazy though? Just a lunatic who hangs with bears till he dies? It's not crazy that it happened. It's obviously, like, I think anyone could have known this was going to happen eventually, but also it's crazy. It's more crazy, like, this guy's devotion to this lifestyle and to the bears, and like what drove him to this place, and that anyone would want to do this, you know? It's did they killed the bear to get the remains? Yes, that's true. The bear. Fuck, man, that should have been my review. The Bears. That's so funny. Don't ever let anyone tell you Letterboxd one-liners can't be funny, because The Bears is pretty funny. Levi, thank you for the super chat. I'm off early. What's up? We're talking about Grizzly Man. Yes. So anyway, no, I was saying it is a documentary that, like, you know, if they made this in the style of like a Netflix doc, it's like, yeah, it would probably feel not that crazy. It's like it really, if anything, highlights how good of a documentary filmmaker Werner Herzog is, because there seems to be a real curiosity here about this guy's mental state and what drove him to do this. And, you know, there was a lot of ground covered, both in like the ethics of what he was doing, but also it's like the performance aspects, how he ended up capturing some incredible footage of Nate. Like, it's one of the most kind of, you know, authentic on the ground looks at nature that you can find, at least at the time. And at this up close, I mean, it's like there's a lot of, it's like so many sides to this that I find really interesting and tragic. And then there's obviously like his girlfriend and whatever their relationship looked like, which is largely considered a mystery because, you know, she's barely on camera. You don't know a ton about their relationship in the film. I mean, it's a really, like, it's a dense film that covers all the ground and doesn't, like, you know, doesn't do what a lot of documentaries of this kind do today, which is like give you all the satisfying, like, uncoverings of the crime and like how you know, no pun intended, grisly it was. But yeah, it's just I found, and in the process it became really sad. Like I felt like the more I knew about him, the sadder the whole situation was, and the eerier his death is. I mean, it's a really kind of disturbing watch. Come on, I'm sorry, bro. I actually couldn't think of another word in the moment. It's kind of like Free Solo if El Capitan mauled Alex at the end. That I was actually telling Cookie, I was like, this Free Solo is a walk in the park next to this, and you don't actually see him die, obviously, but like there's a scene really early on in the film where he's like he's filming the bear, and the bear's like coming closer to him, and he does his thing where he's like, back off, and all this stuff, and it's like, it's just fucking disturbing. It was like really stressful, and I was like, this bear's about to eat this man. And then he has these like really out of nowhere outbursts where he's like, yes, just saying like fuck all over. Like it's I mean, he's as scary as the bears, man. He's fucking it's like it's a really disturbing watch. Yeah, I'm not even thinking about spoilers because I'm like, you know what happens. But Evan, thank you for the membership. Appreciate it. And Levi, thank you for the super chat. I'm sorry I missed that other one. One Battle sounds like the best movie ever. It really does. I'm trying to not get too hyped because yeah, it seems like it really is going to be the best movie ever. Yeah, I the bear stuff aside, he interviews several subjects in the film, many of which are very bizarre. I mean, he talks to people in Timothy Treadwell's life, like his parents, who you could tell there's a lot going on there that it doesn't get into, but I mean, there seems to be a lot of kind of both profound sadness and disappointment and a huge like disconnect there. Like they seem like they don't even kind of really like see the person they raised. I mean, his backstory, it's like the whole thing is he came from a very like kind of what seemed to be stable family, but moved to LA to become like an actor and then lost a role to Woody Harrelson. Can we get a fact check on all this? Because that was kind of what it seemed, and then it kind of spiraled into this like kind of existential crisis of like not knowing what he wanted to do with his life that eventually led to The Woods. Is Timothy Treadwell famous in America as someone not from there? It's no. Well, maybe at the time. I mean, that's the thing is like I can't really speak for like what this was like when it came out. I only like found out about this documentary and like the impact it had in film school like a few years ago. And then it's like one of those like internet rabbit holes you go down, but like I did not know who this guy was. He was on David Letterman. I mean, he was maybe like kind of a moment, but like I'm curious. I should ask my parents. They would know. But he kind of seemed like he wanted to be like a crocodile hunter type, like beloved, family friendly animal personality. And I mean, he was kind of getting there, but like obviously it's fucked up. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry I didn't watch it. I was busy. That's all good. He auditioned for Cheers and didn't get it. Yes. Yeah. And you can tell like through his like footage of him in the wild, like he wants to be an actor so bad, you know? I mean, it's a lot of sadness. And it also comments a lot on, and this is what like Werner Herzog's particularly great at this. He's great at like two things here, where he really gets to the bottom of like the loneliness at the core of this, like his chase for loneliness and to be left completely alone in the wilderness, and then also like the dark path that leads him to that place. But he also is really good at capturing and speaking on the, you know, how powerful nature is and like the destructive, the blunt violence of these creatures, which is like, you know, it's obvious, but it's like the way he talks about it in the voiceover that's so beautiful. And I mean, the last section where he's talking about the bear that ends up killing him, and like when he sees the footage of the face, all he sees is like, you know, bored hunger or something like that. Yeah, it's really beautiful. Bro, I don't even know what's going on in chat right now. Caught Eddington in cinema yesterday. Truly an amazing and overwhelming movie. Truly an amazing and overwhelming movie. Yes, yeah. I mean, it's one that's just gonna get more. It's just, yeah. It's a bit of a tough one to watch. He really made an effort to understand him, and I think that's beautiful. Yeah, yeah, and like I said, it's a level of empathy that you don't see in docs anymore, or as often, I should say. Um, he has a real gift for that, and also it's not like I think he saw something like really special in Treadwell too, like a uniqueness that's that a lot of other kind of equally as fascinating subjects don't have. Like I think it would be, what I'm trying to say is like it'd be easy to paint this guy out to be just like a tragic downward spiral story, like a failed entertainer, and someone with a really troubled past with relationships who goes to the woods and then gets mauled by a bear. It's like there's so many ways he could have gone about this, and he chose to do it in a really curious and really sad way that I just, I don't know. I was really moved by. I was gonna say the subjects. I got caught off guard by his parents, who are really fascinating. I was gonna say all of the subjects he talks to in this doc, and this is maybe not who they are in real life, but the way they're presented, they are like characters out of Twin Peaks. There are some bizarre people in this movie, specifically the coroner, who, if you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. It's the top review on Letterboxd. He was insane. I was, that whole section of the movie, I was just kind of like looking at the screen like, what the fuck is this guy's deal, man? He was like evil Bill Nye. He didn't blink once. I loved it. I was like, I can't imagine Werner Herzog like not smiling a little bit while watching that. He just goes into crazy detail on like, the deaths and the bodies and yeah, no, it was Ellie's here. What the fuck is Ellie doing here? Yeah, he was crazy. And then like even the like all love to them, it's like I can't imagine being on camera talking about such a traumatic situation, but it's like there's like a really weird delivery with all the people in his life who once like his ex-girlfriends and friends, and I mean everyone in this doc is, and then the pilot guy is his own weirdness. Like everyone's weird. Maybe that's just Alaska. Maybe it's literally just Alaska, but stop rambling. Dougal is much more worth talking about. You might be right. Equally as tragic. Ellie, thank you for the membership. Thank you. That's so nice. So nice of you. Thank you. Time for us to play Fortnite. I want to play Fortnite next week. Next week we're doing half star movie tier lists, and we're playing Fortnite. So you're gonna want to be here. And we're watching maybe let's check in on the poll. This is crazy, man. This is crazy. This is not what I expected. Check in on the poll. Breathless is at 33%. Thirst, 22%. Vanilla Sky, 44%. Paper Moon, 0%. If you want to get your vote in for Paper Moon, you should become a member. It's probably worth it. You need to teach me how to play? John, it's not that. We'll do it. We'll do it. We'll do it on stream. Do you think the guy is someone you could be friends with? Timothy Treadwell? No. It's interesting though to think like what this kind of guy would look like in today's world, you know? Because like he was built to be an influencer, and that was something I honestly was thinking about pretty often. I was like, his obsession with performance and this kind of filmmaking. I was like, you have to wonder what he would have thought of the world we live in now. Which is, I don't know why that sounds insensitive, but like it feels insensitive to say. He'd be a YouTuber though. He's like kind of the OG. Should I go watch The Shrouds but stay up way too late, or stay and watch the stream and go to sleep on time? You should watch The Shrouds. I'll always encourage you to watch a movie instead of the stream. I think it's more worth your time. I haven't even seen it, but I think you should go do it. Favorite scene? Knew this was coming. I mean, I really think the ending, which is, it's cheap to say, but the ending that I was talking about, where he's using the footage of the bear that killed him and talking about the destructiveness and the violence of the wilderness and these bears. I mean, it was just, I wish I had the quote on me, but I found that part incredibly moving, and yeah, that really stuck with me. I also did really love the backstory, or the moment with his parents. I thought was really fascinating, because it's, you kind of get the sense when you listen to everybody else talking about him that like he's always been this way, and you see pieces of him in all of them. But when you listen to his parents, it really sounds like they're talking about someone who died and disappeared long before any of this even happened, which is, it was weird. It was like haunting. Yeah, I'll wrap it up soon here. I wanted to say that this was my first Werner Herzog documentary, and I really feel like I've been sleeping on him for a while. At least in the documentaries. I've seen Aguirre, The Wrath of God, which was fantastic. Equally as powerful in its, depiction of how powerful nature is. But this was really special and makes me want to check out more of his documentary work, because I found it really, really amazing. And I recommend it to, if you're like me and you were too scared to check this out because you thought it was going to be really graphic. It's really not. The most uncomfortable I was on the airplane while watching this was when I don't even know if I want to say it. He found some of the bear's poop and he like touched it. And I was like, bro, I'm on the plane, man. Like, don't do that. Like, there's people next to me. I was so embarrassed to be watching that. And then there's like, some animal guts every now and then, which is kind of gross, but it's really not that bad, Anyway, Grizzly Man, Werner Herzog, fantastic film. And I really can't recommend it enough. It really sneakily ended up being one of the best movies we've watched on the broadcast. I mean, it's one that I've certainly not been able to stop thinking about. I was really into it. So, yeah, good movie. Listen, we've been going for an hour and a half now. I might take a break and see how fast I can set up the half-star tier list and see if we can do it. But if not, we might just do some puzzles and keep the Q&A going, and we'll wrap things up pretty early here today, because I have to go see a movie, believe it or not. But I'm going to take a break real quick and be back in a second. Okay, bye-bye. Okay. So we are not going to do the half-star tier list today because I briefly tried setting it up and it's going to take me at least like 15 minutes. And that's too long to be doing on stream. So we're going to be doing that next week. But if anyone has any other good ideas for tier lists, I'm open. But if not, I say we just kind of hang out here and do a little Q&A. Maybe do some Cine 2 Nerdle puzzles because I have been fucking with that. But because I don't have like a tripod or anything, I'm limited for what I can do right now because I'm not where I usually am. Have you seen Lawnmower Man? No, I have not. Haven't even heard of it. Decades of film tier list? That sounds like a good idea. Does it already exist? Have you seen Brian Cox's Uber commercial? No. We could do Brian Cox commercials tier list. He's been in so many. Karsten, I think it'd be really funny to do an IMDb top 250 tier list. I did actually see that while I was browsing some of the ones that already exist and was like, that could be good. I'm looking at it right now. You're forcing me to put some of the top rated movies of all time in bad tiers. The list of tier lists you've done. That sounds like a pretty good time. Homer Simpson, it's good to see you. Okay, I might have been too early as you seem to be doing questions now. No, I apologize. I'm kind of throwing you off. I'm streaming at a different time on a different day. So apologies for that. Home Simpson tier list. Oh. IKEA furniture ranked. Dude, actually, I would love to do that, but I don't know if that exists yet. I'm looking for something that already exists because I can't set anything up. Let's look at, I know you can't see my screen, by the way. Puzzles. Puzzles tier list? What puzzles are there? No, man, I don't. Products? I could get down with that. Trash can tier list? Dude, I'm not kidding. That sounds like a good time. Stores tier list? Hottest mascots? Watch brands? Handheld consoles? YouTube sponsors? I can't do that. That's really funny, though. That's really funny. Pillows. What the fuck is the pillows tier list? Oh, I see. Why neglect foreign films? When did I ever say that? I didn't say that. YouTube sponsors, please. Crazy Wolf flavors. What? Oh, Crazy Wolf is an energy drink. What am I looking at? Who is making these? Who cares? Frankly, who cares? Best sneakers? There's too many sneakers on there. Apple products. I don't want to be that guy. Let me look at trash can tier list. I don't even know what to call some of these. There's only 9 of them. We could definitely do it, but sauces? Please help me with sentimental value. In what way? What do you need help with? Karsten, please do something with movies. I know, but like, I'm kind of I'm in the mood for slop, you know? Rank the craziest wolves. Okay, I'll go back to movies. I kind of was fucking with chairs. Gemstone rankings. The uncut ones. Movies. Okay. Wicked the soundtrack, part 1. Harry Potter movies. Not going to touch that. Villain rankings. Dog breeds. The Letterboxd 250 is more interesting than the IMDb one, I have to say. We already did movie genres. Types of media. I think I've encountered that one before. Dude, we need like a one with like 30. Why do they only have like 9 or like 250 options? Shrek characters. Villains are cool. Villain ranking sounds awful. The chat is split down the middle on villains. I did see sentimental. Well, I saw sentimental value in Cannes, so they had English subtitles because they understand that there's a lot of Americans and Brits. But I cannot guarantee for the when I've seen, for example, I saw Fire of Love. Is that what it's called? In Denmark, and the sections that were not in English, that were in French, they had Danish subtitles. And so I didn't understand what was happening half the movie. I don't think French theaters would have English subtitles for the Norwegian sections, to answer your question. Rank all the Kongs. Dude, there was... Wait a second. There was a Donkey Kong category. Uh-huh. We're going to do that, bro. I'm sorry. I need names, though. I need you guys to help me with the names. But I've decided on this. It's what's calling me the most, frankly. And I'm sorry to everybody that didn't want this. But this is where my heart's at. Okay. Let me just set this up. Okay. Are we back? Okay. We're doing Kongs. We're doing Donkey Kongs. Because it's all I have time for today, man. Rank all the Blade albums. I would happily do that, but I don't think anyone here cares. We have Candy Kong. I don't know how I feel about Candy Kong, because I do like her rhythm games. Who is this? I thought this was Candy. Wait, is she different from Candy? What the hell is this? It's the Kong ranking. We've been over this. Candy Kong, I'm going to go straight into B. She's kind of underused, in my opinion. Okay, who's he again? He's like iconic. I know this is Cranky Kong, though. Cranky Kong is definitely S. They're all kind of S. I thought you meant King Kongs. No, man, we're doing Donkey Kong. Diddy Kong. That's not Chunky Kong, is it? I thought this guy's name was like Buster. The guy on the far left. What's the criteria? Who's monkier? It's just off vibes. I do like... Buster Kong. Yeah, that's literally what I thought. It's literally, his name is Chunky Kong? Well, he's not used. He's B. B is kind of the furthest we're going to go as far as lows. Diddy Kong, I'm going A. Because he's got an unfortunate name these days. Dixie Kong, if anyone's played Donkey Kong Country, she is kind of the shit. I love flying with Dixie. Who the fuck is Jay Kong? Will Herbert, thank you for the super chat. Do a different ways to become a member tier list. I'm sorry. Are we struggling? DK Jr., that's who we... Okay. Will, I apologize. I thought if you go to the channel page, there should be a way to do it. But also, I also kind of get confused when I try to become members of other channels. I'm looking at it from my other channel, at least on mobile. On mobile? Bro, why do they make it so hard? What the hell? You might need to go on desktop, I'll be honest with you. I could also... You're not dumb. It's a bad system. DK Jr. worst Kong? Yeah, DK Jr. is kind of like... Like, what is he even doing here? Donkey Kong... I know we should probably put him in S, but like he's not as good as Cranky or Dixie, in my opinion. What's his name again? What's his name? Funky Kong. Yes, how could I forget? Funky Kong is easy S. That's my main in Mario Kart. I can't believe I almost forgot his name. That's on me. That's on me. Who the fuck is this baby? He was in this guy was in Donkey Kong Country 3 and was so annoying. I really didn't like him. Sorry. Orangutan Kong. That might be another junior. I mean, obviously. Pajamas don't even fit him. I would love a tier list about fictional bears, actually. How big is this fucking family? That's Lanky Kong. I'm not too familiar with Lanky Kong. Was he a Donkey Kong 64 situation? Because I didn't play that. I'm not too familiar with Lanky Kong. I'm going to put him in B. Who's this? The rest, I don't even know who these fools are. I'm going to put her in C because I don't like the vibe. Grandma Kong? That's Linda? Who is... You got Linda, you got Buster. Yeah, well, who's the old lady? Wrinkly Kong. This is so stupid, man. This is the dumbest thing I think I've ever done on YouTube. Oh, this is not... No, the lady is not Dixie Kong. Unless it's Dixie Kong in, like, the future. Why? I know. Why is Candy on this twice? I have to put her in the same... Or else it's going to be weird if one of them is in Memorial Kong. It is not your thing. It is my thing, but like I don't know how it's not my thing yet, I guess. Gotta put him in A tier. Well, that's it. All right, what's next? Oh, fuck. Man. I'm so glad we were able to get that out of our system, if nothing else. Let's just talk. Let's just talk. Actually, let me do the Cine 2 Nerdle puzzles. I can do that on stream. That's not difficult to do. Okay. I'm going to do the puzzles today. We're going to do Burgle because we didn't do Burgle last week, and I forgot. Let me move this. We have... So if you don't know the Burgle, we're trying to like cross off all these words by naming a movie whose synopsis has all of these words in it, or its plot description. So we have camera, Catholic, cellar, clock, demon, evidence, investigator, motel, witch. I mean, off the bat, I kind of want to go with, I kind of want to just do The Exorcist. Yeah, we were able to get investigator, clock, and demon off that. By the way, we have 7 attempts to clear this board. Conjuring is good, but also, now would I be wasting space now that we've already done demon and... Okay! All right. That was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. All right. That was the Daily Burgle. Let's do the reversal. Clueless, Pulse, Resident Evil, Pompeii, Uptown Girls, The Untouchables, Cinema Paradiso, Happy Feet, The Ring, 8 Below, The Thing, 1982, Event Horizon, Highest to Lowest, 8 Mile, Alien vs. Predator, The Hateful Eight. Okay. The Ring, Pulse, and then no. Give me a second. I'm not looking over there yet. I'm seeing 8 Mile, The Hateful Eight, 8 Below. No? Is that not a thing? Well, Alien vs. Predator, Resident Evil, Pompeii. Event Horizon, Paul W.S. Anderson. Okay, the 8 thing, I mean, 1982? No, that was an accident. Oh, remakes of Japanese cinema. The Hateful Eight? No. The Untouchables? No. Eight Below. Okay, we're moving on. The Thing, 8 Mile, The Untouchables, Clueless, Cinema Paradiso, Uptown Girls, Clueless, Happy Feet. Oh, Clueless, Uptown Girls, Happy Feet, 8 Mile, Brittany Murphy, and then we have Ennio Morricone. And then we have... This top row is going to be a problem, but I can figure it out maybe from these bottoms. What am I looking at here? All right, I need help with this last part. I don't know what links all of these. If this is your first time seeing this, there's 4 that are they match in a horizontal way, and then there's one vertical match amongst all of these, but I don't know what it is. I'm glad I'm not the only one that didn't know what 8 Below was. Rappers, maybe? Who's a rap? I know 8 Mile. Highest to lowest, you're right. Yes. Is there a rapper in Event Horizon or Alien vs. Predator? No. It's something with these. 8 Below, Happy Feet. Oh, and then The Thing. Antarctica? Yes. Okay. They had me with the rapper thing. I'm not going to lie. I thought that was... It was Antarctica. Okay, let's do the other one. The original. We have... This is just like basically the same thing, but you're trying to link movies. Kathy Bates is in an abandoned underground lair, finds a box of Super 8 movies, is in a remote home in the mountains. Okay, Kathy Bates is in a remote home in the mountains. Let's bookmark that. Bill Skarsgård is the villain, is in a basement horror film. Bill Skarsgård, basement horror film. Let's mark that down. Is a true crime writer. Put that one up there. No. Okay. Is directed by Zach Kreger, Bill Skarsgård, basement horror film. We have that. Is the villain... Kathy Bates is the villain. Ethan Hawke is in a British dystopia, moves into a new home? No, that's a rental. Fine. Okay. Is in a Stephen King adaptation. Okay, Kathy Bates, true crime writer. Yes, okay, we're getting somewhere. I know this is confusing. Is in an abandoned underground lair. Hugo Weaving wears a mask. Is in a double booked Airbnb. So that we have that. We can switch these. No? Oh, motherfucker. Okay, wait. Is the villain? Yeah. So then just switch these. And then wears a mask, is in a basement horror film, is the villain, Ethan Hawke. That was a walk in the park. Okay. Let me do the, I want to do the other while I have you. What's it called? I was like, I should be doing the Framed. And I already think I know what this is. Is this Superman, 1970s? Yep, don't ever say I don't fuck with Superman. That was the easiest thing of all time. Okay. Easy puzzles today. Really easy puzzles. Karsten, I have just made a tier list of all the movies you said were modern classics in your video. I have dropped it in the Discord. Might be fun to do now. That is a great idea. I do not have time to do it today, but I am definitely going to bookmark that for, not next week because I promised half star next week, but the week after that. We're going to do that for sure. Because a lot of people think that I like all those movies, and I'm like, no, some of those movies are trash. Did you try to do the IRL stream? No, we didn't even attempt it. I realized that the connection down by TIFF is pretty bad, and we just ended up abandoning that idea altogether, which is funny because I brought all the gear, and by gear I mean mics, but yeah, we did not end up doing the IRL stream. Okay. What else do we do? I guess we can wrap it up. It's almost at 2 hours here. We should finish off with the weekly box. John, are you still here? I might need help. Did you get to do any interviews? No, all the interviews I thought I was going to have did not end up happening. You know what I will say is likely to happen, though? And this one, I actually mean it. I have been talking to a certain studio about getting an interview with a director who has a movie coming out in October, who is more similar to me than he is not. And so I'm and I was like this would be a good idea, wouldn't it? And it's not PTA, dog. Do you know who I am? And the studio, I think, is really into the idea, so we're gonna do it. It's not. It's not. I'm not. John's here. Okay, let's do the weekly box. If you are new here, every week we have a weekly box where I roast a random member of the Discord. If you want to be included in this, you should join the Discord, link in the description. And you have to put your letterbox in a certain channel. This part is not that complicated. I think a lot of people have actually been able to get it down. But anyway, it's a good way to be a part of the community if you want to be included in the weekly boxed. By the way, the 4th letterboxed roasting video is happening next week. I've filmed it. I've chosen the profiles. I think it's the best one. There was a huge crop of you who submitted your letterbox. I'm talking like 3,500 comments, which was insane. But it's going down next week. So, yeah, be on the lookout for that over on the main channel. Okay. We're gonna do the weekly letterboxed. John, I think, has done it. Oh my god, that was the easiest one we've done so far. Is it? Maybe it's not. So close. So close. Wait. Jacus Dobra Morda is today's weekly boxed. Let's get this plugged in. Let's get this taken care of. And then we're going to do the movie for next week. Karsten, who do you prefer, Kubrick or Spielberg? Probably Kubrick at the end of the day. But I love them both, I have to say. Okay, today's weekly boxed. It's right here. Jacus Dobra Morda, fake cinephile profile picture in my walls. Favorite films: Neon Genesis Evangelion, The Big Lebowski, Spirited Away, and The French Dispatch. Off the bat, definitely fake cinephile, because no one would have a top 4 this foolish. This isn't even really, I mean, can we even call this a movie? I haven't seen it. I can't really say. We have Trainspotting 5 stars. Inherent Vice 4.5. That's very interesting. You did watch Throne of Blood. Shout out. Your dog, if my most popular review was just hot lesbian sex and the most likes was 2 likes, I'd leave the platform if I were you. But fair enough, you did see Resurrection, so I'm actually kind of just jealous of you that you got to see that movie, because I really want to see that movie. Let's see. Let's look at your do you have a single half-star rating? And it's for The Hungover Games, which, fair enough, man. I what the fuck is this? What the hell? Yeah, man, I don't know what to tell you with this one. I mean, it's right where it should be, I will say. I'll say that much. The awards garage, thank you for that. Appreciate you. Yeah, this is solid. Wouldn't be my none of these would be my first picks from each director, but they are all pretty good movies. I mean, these are both 5 out of 5s. Big Lebowski, we can find a better Coens brother film than that, but who am I to say? Watch list, you did add Redline and 9 Days, which makes me feel like you watched my most recent video, which thank you for watching. Yeah, only 85 this year is a little rough, but we can do better. That there's room for improvement. Back when they made those yearly parody movies that cover all the major movies of the year, we need to bring that back. Honestly, I think we need to bring that back. I should make a. Has anyone made a video on those fake parody movies? Because if the world, the film landscape feels empty without them. Let's look at the rest of your. You saw Surat. Were you at fucking? You're going to film festivals, so I guess respect. 3 stars for Conclave is too low. But honestly, I can't really disagree with a lot that's going on here. I really can't. It's a tough. I'm a little. I some of these profiles, man. I'm like, we're too aligned. Although I will say, Portrait of a Lady on Fire at 3.5 is. that upsets me. But yeah, good profile. I would just suggest that you get out of my walls. But thank you, Jakis Dobramorta, for joining the Discord. Okay. Let's check in on the movie for next week. We will be watching refresh. Wow, man. We're watching Vanilla Sky. Bigger crop of voters this week as well. So feels more accurate, but the people wanted to watch Vanilla Sky. So that is what we will be doing. I don't know how to close these polls after I put them out, to be honest, but we'll be watching Vanilla Sky. That's going to do, though. That's going to do it. Like I said, shorter stream this week because of my plans for today. But Vanilla Sky, I don't know how you can find it. I don't know where it is online, but it's an essential Tom Cruise, as far as I know. I've never seen it. This will be my first time. Karsten, do you watch soccer? No. I wish I did, but I can't really, I don't even know where to start. I got really into the World Cup a few years ago, and now I'm like, it's on Paramount Plus? Okay. Now, and after the World Cup, I was like, dude, soccer's kind of the best. But now I don't know, where to even begin with it. I keep, I'm loosely involved, but not really. Bro wants soccer season 1. I literally do. I literally need to catch up. I did not go into the Criterion Closet van because it was too long a wait. Okay, I think I'm gonna call it. But guys, thank you so much for coming out. I did want to, I wanted to close out on just another. I know I said this kind of at the top, but meeting everybody at TIFF. I mean, it was a really it was a very sweet experience, and I wanted to say how lucky I am to have such a nice community. I mean, you guys are all so nice in person. You wouldn't think so based on some of your fucking I'm just messing around. No, I really appreciate you guys, and thank you if you said hi at TIFF. It was really nice to meet you, and yeah, man, I it's good to be back, and I can't wait to keep this going. Okay, I'll see you next week for Vanilla Sky. I think that's it. Be on the lookout for the Letterboxd roast video. I'm gonna go